Welcome, friends, to my channel. My name's Molly, and I'm starting some new things this year. If you know my work, you might not. You might be new to my channel. If so, welcome so much. If you know my work, you might be familiar with my career guide to the 12 Saturn signs, which I just created just recently. And I myself am in a phase of my career cycle which I call the spaghetti throwing phase, which is where you throw a lot of spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. So this right here is a piece of spaghetti that I'm trying out, where I give messages to each of the 12 signs. Okay, you can use your sun sign. Most of us know our sun sign. It's just our main zodiac sign based on our birthday. You can also listen to your moon sign, watch your moon sign for a message, or your rising sign. Now, a lot of people tell me that their rising sign tends to resonate more than anything. So take what works. Take what works. If there's a message in here for you, I'm hoping to bring it through. I'm asking Spirit right now for messages for the people that are going to show up now. So hopefully I'll bring through something that resonates for you. Now, I'm going to read the chart of the new moon, which I have put up for you here. And if you're not a chart reader, don't worry. I'm going to interpret the major features of this new moon chart. And then for each of the 12 signs, I will tell you where those major features are likely to show up in your life. First, let's talk about the chart of the new moon itself, because that's our starting point, right? The new moon is on December 1st. Anytime after this new moon and before the next new moon, this forecast is in play. The significance of a new moon is that it starts a new lunar cycle. It's the beginning of a lunar cycle. Okay. So the first feature of the chart is the new moon itself. Okay. And this is a short-term new beginning in some house of your chart. The new moon is defined by the sun and the moon lining up in the same degree of the zodiac. I'm doing a general chart for each sign and not a specific birth chart for you, which would yield incredibly specific results for you. As an astrologer, though, doing these general readings on YouTube, that's not really available to me, but the general readings also work. Your birth chart reading is more specific, but you can still get some valuable information from that general reading. Again, by watching your sun sign, your moon sign if you know it, and your rising sign if you know it. So there's the chart, there's the new moon itself. That's going to appear somewhere in your chart or your general signs chart. That's going to appear in a specific house. Okay, the houses are numbered here 1 through 12. They are the pizza slices that divide the different sections of the chart. So depending on where that falls, that is going to start a new cycle in that part of your life. Okay. The opposite sign also becomes important because Jupiter is over here as the ruling planet of this new moon, Sagittarius. Okay, the ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter. So the Jupiter sign is going to appear in the house opposite the sign where that new beginning happens. And this means there's going to have to be some kind of balance. So I'm going to forecast where that balance is taking place. What parts of your life are calling for balance? Okay. This new moon chart shows an obstacle in the form of Saturn in Pisces. This is an obstacle that you may have to look deep within to resolve in your life. Saturn in Pisces is emotional work. Okay, this is a need for emotional work that, if left undone, can create an obstacle for you. That's going to appear in some place in your chart too, in your general chart too. So we're going to forecast where's the obstacle. And the other thing that I'm seeing in this new moon chart is an open door. Okay, an open door. And this is shown by Mars in Leo in a trine, what we call a trine, which is a, if you don't study aspects, it's no big deal, but a trine opens a door. It makes progress easy. Okay. Now, there's a little wrinkle here because Mars is about to go retrograde. Mars is stationary right now. Mars is about to go retrograde. Mars is our physical energy, so it's like you've got an open door to walk through, but there's some kind of backtracking that needs to happen. There's some kind of shoring up of your security that is going to make it possible for you to expand and move forward in the way that you want to in good time. There's not just a whole lot of forward movement happening right now because Mars is about to go retrograde. Mercury is about to go retrograde, and then Venus is also going to go retrograde early in 2025. So we've got a big lineup of planets that are about to kind of slow down and then turn around, head backwards. Okay, and a lot of people look at this like, oh, it's going to be trouble and it's going to be inconvenient, and I need to make money, and the money gets slow down, and there's a lot of worry that can come with this. But if you lean into it, and you actively kind of pull yourself back, all right, strengthen instead of trying to move forward where you are. Strengthen what you have, reinforce what you have, secure what you have. That is using the energy of Mars retrograde. In astrology, we say use the energy or it will use you. So using the energy of Mars retrograde is that, how can I strengthen myself? How can I reinforce what I already have, given the limits on my energy right now? Okay, so a big push forward just frustrates you, just frustrates us all. But a contemplative look backwards can help us all, okay? So we just have to change our focus just a little bit to make this Mars retrograde period work. Oh, and if you want to know more about Mars retrograde, I will put the link to my Mars retrograde article on my website down in the description so that you can check it out. It's got the key hotspots, the key dates that you need to be aware of. All right, so we're going to look at the new moon itself, the opposing force that balances that new moon, the obstacle that can get in the way, and the opportunity to move forward after a look back. All right, we're going to see all that in that new moon chart. Fabulous. And we also can look at the house where Mercury is about to go retrograde. That's going to be the same as the new moon house. And then Venus is going to go retrograde March 1st through April 12th. Awesome. So let's get down to it. Now, I wasn't sure what order to go in, so I got these study cards for the 12 signs, and I'm going to pick at random. I'm going to choose a random order to start with, and I think I'm going to start with Sagittarius. Since this is your new moon, Sagittarius, this is your birthday month. Okay. Sagittarius, here's your general chart wheel. All I've done is taken this new moon chart and I've put the whole sign of Sagittarius in the first house. It's kind of a whole sign approach. Okay, so Sagittarius, this new moon cycle is about you. It's about your identity. It's about your branding. It's about your appearance. It's about how you approach the world. If you've been thinking about changing, strengthening, shoring up your approach, this is a good time for that. Okay. Now, of course, we've got a lot of retrogrades happening right now, including retrograde Mercury and retrograde Jupiter over here in your house of relationships. And so that means that if you have been out of balance in relationships, okay, if you've been accommodating other people, if you've been saying yes when you really mean no, or you know in your heart of hearts that you need to be saying no, but because you're a Sagittarius, you kind of overdo things sometimes. You tend to overdo it. So if that is biting you in the butt, that's calling on you to kind of fix these things in your life, or to look at the ways that you undermine your own goals by saying yes to things that you should be saying no to, or growing too fast, expanding too fast. All these wonderful things that Sagittarians like to do. They're good at doing, and all of that. like Aries, like me, you might not be the best at slowing your roll at times and just accepting that there are times when the energy is more limited and forward progress is more limited. All right. So the first in that 7th house, that's about yourself on the one hand and other people in your life, one-on-one relationships, marriage, partnership, important clients that you work with one-on-one. All of those are this kind of 1st house, 7th house balance, that 1st house, 7th house dynamic. Okay. So that opposition is really important. Saturn, the obstacle, appears in your 4th house. The 4th is the most emotional house, and this is about home and family and deep feelings and the past and memories. So it might be something from your past that is proving to be an obstacle. It might be emotional work that you need to be doing, or it might be a difficult situation in your home and family that is taking up a lot of your time and energy right now. Mars appears in your solar 9th house. Okay, this is a solar chart. Not important, but Mars appears in that 9th house. And the 9th is about beliefs, interestingly enough. It also has to do with travel and court cases and education. So any of those things that are on your path right now, there is a brilliant and beautiful way forward. But it is going to take some effort and physical energy. I think that you're up to it, but you have to pace yourself. That's the thing about being Sag and also having this energy in your 9th house, is that it's real easy to take on more than you can handle, bite off more than you can chew, take a real big bite of life, and then find that the pieces just aren't coming together as quickly and easily as you were expecting. Okay. So just be careful around matters of the 9th house. Again, travel, education, and your philosophy of life, your beliefs. Now, I will tell you something really amazing about having Mars retrograding in your 9th house is that you have a chance to go back into your past and examine your core beliefs. Ooh, it's going to be juicy, y'all. Especially beliefs that have limited you, that have limited your emotional expression, that have limited your emotional work in some way. This is a time to, let's say that you believe that you're not worthy of whatever, okay? That leaves the barn door open. That leaves that barn door open and unlocked for people to come in and take advantage of this belief that you think you're not good enough, so you'll take scraps. Okay? This is time to work on those beliefs. And during the course of Mars retrograde, which lasts a good long time from December 6th till February 23rd, you have a chance to close that barn door, lock it, and not let anybody else in ever who is going to take advantage of your trauma, of your limiting beliefs, and cause trouble in your life. So that's your mission the next few months. Close that barn door, kick out the people that would take advantage of your good nature, Sagittarius, and move forward in the new year once this passes, okay? With a whole new outlook on life and a whole new belief about yourself and a whole new perspective on whatever it is that you've endured in your life that has precipitated those beliefs. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a few cards for you, Sag. Is there a message for Sag here? Okay. Sagittarius, here's your message. This message is about your creativity, and particularly things that have blocked your creativity up to now. All right. Oh, man, you got a big project that you're working on. Oh, man. And see, what I'm seeing is that you have you're on a path of letting something go. You're on a path of walking away from something, and maybe saying goodbye forever to a situation or like an artistic. I'm seeing this about being about your creativity and about kind of that core enthusiasm that you have for life. Okay, this is from a new tarot deck that just came out this fall called the Black Ink Tarot by Evie Marin, who's an incredible artist. I'm lucky that I got a copy of their tarot deck. But that this is the King of Wands in regular tarot, okay? But he came in upside down, and this means something is blocking that full expression and that full maturing of your creativity, okay? So you've been struggling hard to bring this thing to fruition, and ultimately I see you either walking away from it or completing it, just wanting to walk away from it, but toughing it out, completing that thing, getting it done, and saying goodbye to that situation forever. It's done. It's done. Whatever this thing is that's depleting your creativity, baby, it's over. It's over. Over. Done. Yeah. Okay, so this next few months is going to be about putting an end to something. Perhaps it's a bad relationship. Perhaps it's a family situation. Perhaps it's a fourth house in Pisces matter. Fourth house Saturn in Pisces matter, like being done with an addiction or some other situation that has really limited you up to now. Awesome, Sagittarius. Good work. Good work, my friend. I'm congratulating you in advance for all that good, hard, emotional work that you're going to be doing. What's our next sign going to be? What's our next sign going to be? Aries. Aries! Woohoo! You're next. Aries, my goodness. Your new cycle begins in the 9th house, okay? The 9th is about your beliefs. A lot like Sag, but it's a little different because Sag had Mars here and you have the new moon here. So you are starting a new cycle related to teaching, learning, education, beliefs, travel. Law, matters of the law and courts and paperwork and all that good stuff. Mercury is retrograde there, so it might take a try or two before everything gets filed the way that you want and all of that good stuff. Search for meaning. It's about a search for meaning. Yeah. Wisdom, ethics, religion, foreign lands, other cultures, long distance travel. Yeah, so you could be traveling. You could be expanding your horizons in some way. The opposition between Jupiter in the 3rd house and then the new moon in the 9th house is showing a interplay between the facts and the information and your beliefs about whatever is going on, about yourself, about the time that you're in, about what that data means. You might have data come in that challenges the beliefs. I'm seeing this big interplay between facts and data and beliefs for everybody, and that's that Jupiter-Mercury opposition. The interesting thing about that opposition, Mercury and Jupiter, which is going to last a really long time because Mercury is making an extra long journey through Sagittarius, having gone almost all the way through Sagittarius and then turned retrograde, going backwards through Sagittarius, and then moving forwards after the retrograde ends on December 15th. So this is an extremely long transit of Mercury through Sagittarius. The interesting thing about that is that the ruling planet of Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, is in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. Okay? And this is a situation called mutual reception. And it means that between those two sides of that opposition, there is a lot of synergy. There is a lot of connection, even more than usual when you get planets that oppose one another. Okay? So as these two planets are retrograding together in opposition, you might have new ideas come to you, or you might have a subtle reorganization of the things you already know into ka-chunk. Oh, now I understand this on this big picture on a whole new level. So we have information that's backing beliefs. We have beliefs that are reinforcing information. And then we have these subtle shifts of the pieces falling into place. And for you, Aries, that those pieces falling into place are really around your beliefs. What you believe to be true. What you think you know. Aries, Saturn, the planet of work, is in your 12th house. And that 12th house is about the unconscious. It's about your dreams. It's a house of emotion, and it's a house of intuition. And I can see this working two ways. Either, number one, you are having a lot of trouble coming from your unconscious, okay? And if you are not tuned in with your unconscious, then you may think it's just out of nowhere. You could be having trouble sleeping, or you could be finding yourself very sensitive to the energies around you right now, either having anxiety or some other kind of disturbance that you really don't understand where it's coming from, because it's hidden. It's hidden away from you. Okay. Saturn urges us to do our emotional work and to strengthen our intuition while it's in Pisces, right? So Saturn is what we need to work on. And when Saturn's in a water sign like Pisces, water signs are really emotional. So, and a lot of humans on the planet these days are not comfortable doing their emotional work, doing their shadow work, looking at their dark side, looking at the ugliness within. And it's not something to be ashamed of. In fact, if you're ashamed of it, it has more power over you. It's something to kind of understand. I'm not saying let it rule you, but it's something to understand about oneself. And you know what? The big man said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And it really does. And that, I think, is the message of this new moon for you, is don't be afraid to go within and look at the things that keep you up at night and see if you can't work towards some degree of self-acceptance. Saturn in the 12th house, especially Saturn in Pisces, can be about those things that we use to cope or escape the painful things in our lives. So it's time to take a good look at that, Aries, and think about stepping your game up a bit. Think about what it is that you're trying to escape from. What is that about? Why? All right. Mars is currently in the Aries 5th house. Okay, so that opportunity is in the 5th house. The 5th is best known for being a house of romance and love affairs, but it's also about speculation. It's about risk taking. So this might be saying, take a risk on yourself. Take a gamble on yourself. But not too crazy, because Mars is about to go retrograde, and there will be some kind of reconsideration of this. The 5th is also a house of self-expression, so you can put some energy into expressing yourself in some way, finding a way to express those feelings. Like they say, use the energy or it will use you. Express yourself, and then you don't have to beat yourself up quite as much inwardly as Mars moves into retrograde. Aries. Mars is your ruling planet, okay? And so I'm seeing in this new moon an opportunity to step up your game, okay? The 5th is a house of sports and gambling and games. It's an opportunity here to step up your game. But the way that you're going to do that is by reviewing perhaps what did not work in the past, going back into your history and closing those barn doors, just like Sagittarius did. For you, that barn door is around self-expression, your children, if you have children. That's a big one. And play. Play! Oh my God, go do something fun. Go do something fun, Aries. Go play. You have got to find a way to play. All right, Aries, let's draw you some cards. Let's draw you a message here. Okay. Is this a message for Aries? All right. Ooh, 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. This is about some conflict in your life. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, there's been like a disagreement in your life. It's like where everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else. It's your fault. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. This is the card that came up for your significator. All right. Your significator. It's pointing, but other fingers pointing back at you. So that pointing is not necessarily that productive. I see that there used to be love in the situation. And maybe there still is, but it's being kind of subverted by something else. I've got the Ace of Drops in reverse. So there's something like blocking that love from coming through, blocking those feelings from really developing any further. I'm seeing here, this is the Queen of Wands in this card. She's a fox. Isn't she great? She's foxy. This is the most attractive woman in the whole deck of tarot cards. And I think this has to do with your creativity. Okay? By unblocking your feelings, you get to a more authentic version of yourself where you can really attract the things in your life that you want. Okay? And I'm seeing this as being about money too. This is the 6 of Pentacles in a regular deck. It's the 6 of Gems in this deck. But that has to do with the balance of give and take. All right? Maybe you're not charging enough for your services if you're in business for yourself. Maybe you're accepting not what you're worth. I don't really know, but there's some kind of imbalance in the give and take, and maybe that's what is behind the conflict that you're experiencing right now. The conflict. And ultimately, that's the resolution, is finding that balance in the give and take. Either renegotiate whatever the contract is. Sometimes it's a written contract, and sometimes it's just those unspoken relationship things that happen when we get in relationships as human beings. It is what it is, my friends. Let's move on to another sign. Aquarius. Here's Pluto. Just moved into your sign, baby. So that means you Aquarians you've just stepped in completely into a 20-year cycle of personal renaissance, personal growth. All right. Nice. The new moon itself starts a new cycle in your house of friendships. Okay, that's the 11th house. Here we go. That's the new moon. And it calls for balance between your getting along with the team and you're following your own creative vision, your own creative goals, your own self-expression. Okay, so that's a balance. Sometimes you give up for the team to be a team player, and sometimes you reserve for yourself your creativity, your needs, your own creative needs. You do things for yourself because you like the way it feels, because you need it, because your children need you. All right. So it's not all about you. The 5th house is about children too. So you might be doing this because your children need you in some way. Your friend group could be undergoing some shifts and changes and reorganizations or drama, that kind of stuff. Where I want you to be careful, where I'm seeing obstacles for you, Aquarius, is money. Okay, Saturn is in your solar 2nd house, and that can be money challenges. You need to look at your emotional issues around money, your childhood, as well as your karmic past around money. If you have access to ways of working with that, then I think that would be really fruitful for you, honestly, Aquarius. The opportunity where things are really moving for you is partnership, relationship. Okay, so Mars moving into your 7th, your solar 7th, and then turning around and going backwards is going to have you reconsidering past relationships, what worked, what didn't work, what tripped you up, and going through and strengthening certain things about yourself. Maybe you need to have better boundaries. Maybe you need to look at how you've been showing up in relationships. Maybe there is someone in your life that you need to be spending less time with. Maybe there's somebody that you need to be spending more time with. But I am really seeing you shifting and changing on that level and transforming yourself. All right. That Pluto in your 1st house is going to transform yourself, and Mars touching in with that Pluto from your 7th house will naturally bring about a change in relationships as well, particularly over the next 6 months as Mars retrogrades and then comes back through completing that part of the Mars cycle. Awesome. Let's pick some cards for you, Aquarius. Okay, this is your message, Aquarius. Oh, victory. Aquarius, you either scored a victory recently or you are at the cusp of victory. Fabulous. Love it. Oh, yeah. You've recently had a situation where you've had to be really resilient. It took all your strength to do what you had to do. And used up a lot of your reserves to get there, to get that victory. But now you are moving on to calmer waters. All right. You're moving on to calmer waters. You burned yourself out a bit before. You're moving on to something better for you. Calmer waters. Love it. Okay. And the advice for you right now is to keep looking forward to the future. Keep looking ahead. Keep preparing for what's to come. Okay. This, my friend, is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is about keeping your head on straight, not getting ahead of yourself. Because Mercury is retrograde right now. We need to be looking back. We need to be looking back. We can't get ahead of ourselves right now because the things that you want will come in time. But now is the time to kind of hunker down and pull yourself in and work on yourself. Retrogrades draw the energy inward and towards the past. Okay, so this is about working on ourselves. Awesome. Good job, Aquarius. Keep up the good work, my friend. Who's next? Virgo! Virgo, you're the winner. All right, Virgo, this new moon takes place in your solar 4th house, making this cycle, in part at least, about your home and your family and your past, okay? Particularly the past, because Mercury is retrograde and that draws us inward into the past anyway. But especially for you, because the 4th is the house of your past and your memories. So you might have some memories coming up. You might be feeling a little extra emotional during this lunar cycle during December. Okay. Opposite your 4th is the 10th house. So this is about a balance between home and career. This is about a work-life balance. This is about challenging and maybe reforming or reorganizing your beliefs around what work-life balance should look like. The balance between your public life and your personal life, your public self and your private life. Okay. The stumbling block, the obstacle that I'm seeing, the Saturn, is appearing in your 7th house, which is about a relationship. This could be someone else in your life, a partner or a spouse or somebody else in your life who you have this give and take equal basis partnership relationship with, calling for attention in some way. They could be being a pain in your ass. They could be some kind of an addict, which requires you to step up, or at least it makes you think you have to step up, pick up the pieces for them, or make up for whatever it is that whatever balls they are letting drop in their own lives. That Saturn in Pisces can be very much about those addictive qualities and those addictive tendencies. But this is also about you looking at maybe how you sold yourself short into a relationship. If you need to have better boundaries with a partner or in a relationship. This is all about relationship for you, Virgo. That's the stumbling block. That's the obstacle. That's the reason to do the emotional work that Saturn calls for. Okay. The opportunity for you, the open door for you, shows up in the 12th house. And that is about your unconscious. It's about your dreams. Oh my gosh, Virgo. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams can be a rich source of inspiration and they can uncover the way forward for you. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your intuitive hits. You're very, very intuitive this cycle, Virgo. So let that guide you. Let that intuition guide you, because I'm seeing it definitely showing a way forward for you, my friends. Let's draw some cards for you. Let's get a tarot reading. There's that 6 of Gems again. This message is about the balance of give and take in your relationships, in your business life as well. Oh, you've been feeling kind of bound up because there's a conflict and it's affecting how you're able to collaborate with other people. Like everybody, there's a lot of people and they all have different ideas and everybody thinks their idea is the best. And you're feeling like there's not a lot that you can do about it right now. And that might be true. That might be true. For now. You might need to give it a little bit of time for now. Because I'm seeing that, you are just not in a position where this is what's going on. Your hands are tied. This is in reverse. So I'm seeing that this is temporary. It's not forever, but it is right now. And your hands are tied. There's not a lot you can do about the situation. You are not really seeing the whole picture. And so I think that everything will come in time. Everything will come in time. I'm seeing about 6 months. About 6 months. And in the meantime, what you can do is say what you will and won't take. As far as compensation for your efforts, whether those efforts are emotional in some way, whether it's emotional labor that you're doing or whether it's some kind of physical labor or like a gig economy job or something like that, you get to say what you're willing to take and don't let anybody shortchange you, because that's what boundaries are about. Yeah. That's what boundaries are about. So this can be about readjusting with clients, because I am seeing Saturn in your 7th house, and that really calls for working on a balance that feels good to your feelings, that doesn't hurt your feeling self. Pisces is about that tender, squishy, sensitive person that's inside most of us, if not all of us. So just being responsive to that person. If life is such that it's difficult or impossible for you to say no to a job or to an offer, at least be there for that squishy self of yours. And Pisces is also about doing that work on the inner planes, okay? Clearing, cleaning, purifying your emotions, really looking within and doing that emotional work. Again, that Saturn calls for. Fabulous. Thank you, Virgo. Next is Pisces. Virgo's opposite. Let's move on. Look at Pisces. Here you are, Pisces friends. Like Virgo, this new moon for you is going to be about work-life balance. But the focus is mostly on the work this time. The new cycle is in career. It's in your career. But there are also demands at home. Maybe you've gotten a bigger house recently, Jupiter, or you have been exploring new places to live or something like that. There is a need to balance that work life, your work life energy, your work life thing. The obstacle is Saturn. Saturn is showing up in your 1st house. So this is about, girl, Pisces, you need to get your shit together. Pisces, this is about growing up. It's about facing the reality of certain situations. And this is about growing in maturity during this lunar cycle. Okay? So it's about growing in maturity and dealing straightforwardly with things that you may have been avoiding up to now. Okay? Having Saturn in your sign will do that, Pisces. It brings you work. And Saturn in Pisces brings work that is of an emotional nature. Okay, my friends, so you got some stuff. You got some stuff you need to be doing. You got some inner work to do. Where's the opportunity? The opportunity is to improve your health this lunar cycle. The opportunity is to develop routines that support you. How do you do this? You do this through your creative efforts. You may get help from somebody like a mentor. This could be a male person because Mars can be a male planet. Mars is usually a male planet, very assertive, got that masculine vibe. This also could bring a helpful male masculine type person into your world to help you with your 6th house matters, practical stuff, the details of life, getting organized, creating day-to-day routines that really support you and work for you. Okay, so it can be about improving your diet, getting more exercise, or helping yourself in any number of ways. Just get your act together, strengthen, reinforce the routines that sustain you in life. Awesome, Pisces. We all need that, but especially you, especially in December. Okay, so good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right, we're going to draw some cards now for you, Pisces. We're going to draw some cards. We're going to get a message. We're going to get a message for you. All right. Is this a message for Pisces? Yeah, this is your message. Ooh, this is about recovering. This is about recovering after going through a huge change. I don't know what changes you've been through, Pisces, but you're now kind of stepping out into a new routine. Weren't we just talking about routines? You're stepping into like a new phase of your life, and you're still kind of finding where the balance is. You're still kind of finding what your routine is going to be. You've just been through major change. Yeah, and here's what the card looks like. This is the significator of where you're at. All right, it's upside down, which means there's some difficulty to it. But because you have recently been through just so much, whatever it was, trauma or pain or change, maybe you just moved, you need to pace yourself moving forward. And one thing I didn't say about Mars being in your solar 6th right now is that can put a little pressure on your health. All right. So this means that health-wise, you can't be doing everything right now. Okay. You need to kind of step back and respect your limits as far as what you are trying to physically do. All right. What you're trying to physically do. Okay. So, yeah. Don't try to do it all right now. It's just not in the cards. All right, let's do the rest of the cards. Okay. Oh, man, something's been keeping you up at night, Pisces. Oh. Okay. Okay, yeah, you've been anxious of something. You've been really anxious about something. What has been keeping you up at night? Everything, all the cards that I drew for you, Pisces, are reversed. They're reversed, and that means that, you've got temporary blocks. To me, that reflects Saturn being in your solar 1st house, which, it's been ongoing for a while. It is going to shift. It's going to begin to shift, I should say. It's going to begin to shift in 2025. It will begin in 2025, and it will leave for good in 2026. So, in the meantime, Pisces, you got to be realistic. Okay, Pisces, something's been keeping you up at night, but I think it's going to turn out to be not what you're thinking it is, okay? There's some idea that you're holding that really is not going to come to fruition. Maybe you're worried about cutting a tie that you won't ultimately have to cut. Cutting somebody out of your life, for example, that you won't end up needing to cut at all. So maybe that is what it's about. And here is the piece of advice for you. Okay, it's just the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Drops in this deck, and it's about disappointment. It's about being emotionally bummed out, feeling lonely and sad and depressed. Because it is reversed, I'm seeing this as something that might just be a worry. It might be something that you're worried about, but not actually going to come to pass. Okay, so go ahead and keep working on yourself. Keep working on yourself, Pisces. The more that you worry about what other people are doing, Pisces, the less energy that you have to do the inner work on yourself that the planets are calling for right now. The Saturn in Pisces in particular is calling for and asking of you right now. Okay? So face those fears. Face those anxieties. Work on your health, Pisces. If you have insomnia, that's a health issue. That is something that must be addressed. So work on yourself. Work on your health, and take a look at those fears and anxieties that you're experiencing, because in all likelihood, I think your outcome is not going to be as scary and as downbeat as you think. So I hope that's helpful, my Pisces friends. Next, Capricorn. New moon in your 12th house. This is going to be about your unconscious. This cycle is going to be about bringing things to completion and dealing with whatever's in your unconscious. And this is about, the 12th is a house of health as well. because it is connected by opposition to the health house, the 6th house, physical health. And I think of this opposition between the 6th and the health as representing the mind-body connection. The body is more of the 6th house, and the mind is more of the 12th. Whatever's unconscious will affect what's going on in the physical body, the physical realm, and whatever's going on in your physical body will affect your mind too, because the brain is, after all, part of your body. Guess what happens when you have toxicity in your body? Your brain can't think properly. Your brain can't make good decisions for you. So it's important as we get healthy, if getting healthy is part of what you're doing right now, Capricorn, it is important to work both sides of that opposition, work both sides of that seesaw. It's important to get the mind healthy, to get the body healthy, and it's important to get the body healthy, to get the mind healthy, okay? So if you are having mental health issues like anxiety or sleeplessness or depression or anything like that, we tend to think of that as being some kind of shortcoming in our personality, right? But it can be just as simple as you're not getting the nourishment that you need in order for your brain to make the serotonin that it needs in order to feel good. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing, is this mind-body connection really coming up and asking you to acknowledge and maybe take stock of where you're at right now with your physical health. Your physical health, Capricorn. The obstacle is your thoughts. The obstacle is maybe some messages or information that you're receiving, maybe that is contrary to your healing. This can be messages that you're giving yourself. This could be negative self-talk that I'm seeing with Saturn in your 3rd house, affecting the 3rd house of this chart. You could be talking down on yourself. You could be shit-talking yourself into bad luck. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. People shit-talk themselves into bad luck. So don't do that, Capricorn. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, Capricorn, most of you are super practical. You're really oriented toward the practical. But right now, your ruling planet, Saturn, is in an emotional sign. And this means that if you're not doing the emotional work, you really miss out on the growth that is possible. You really miss out on building your skill set, if you will. Saturn in Pisces asks us to develop our soft skills, and this means empathizing, listening, understanding others, being soft with others. So it's not just about making the money and achieving the status and the things and, all that stuff that Capricorn typically gets into. It's really about getting clear within yourself and looking closely at the ways that you talk to yourself, about yourself, getting clear on that, and maybe cleaning that up. If you are saying crappy things to yourself, Capricorn, you got to stop that. You got to stop that. The opportunity, Mars, shows up in the 8th house of your solar chart. And this is telling me that, for one thing, the 8th is a financial house. It has to do with taxes and investments and those the inevitability things. Sex, death, and taxes. This is the 8th house. Mars is about to go retrograde, so there's a way forward here, but there's a slowdown. There's a slowdown and a pullback and an orienting inward and towards the past before you really can move forward with that. So think about that. It's a financial moving forward, and it's also an emotional moving forward that I'm seeing as possible for you, because the 8th is a very emotional house. It has to do with the emotional content of relationships, all right? So it can be about close relationships, and it can also be about banking, finances, and stuff like that. Trauma, past trauma. dealing with your past traumas, really looking at how those things affect your current relationships. Okay, let's get a message for my Capricorns. What do my Capricorns need to know as they move through the Sagittarius lunar cycle? What do you want Capricorn to know as they move ahead? Okay, what we got? Is this Capricorn's message? Yes. Capricorn, look what I pulled for you just now. This is about a love situation or a deal. This is about a coming together. Mutually beneficial coming together. Could be about a love situation. The Two of Cups often is. This is the Two of Cups. Okay. Oh, but are you resisting ending something in order to make this possible? You've invested a lot of time and energy into something, and you're kind of waiting to see if it's going to pay off for you the way that you expected it to. Oh my gosh. Okay. You have put a lot of your time and energy into something, and because of that, you are resisting allowing it to be over. Okay? This is what I'm seeing. Is a pair of tens in reverse. Gosh. Anyway, these are a pair of tens. This is the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands, which is something that you're feeling so burdened by this thing. You're feeling very burdened, but you're not quite ready to let it go yet. And I don't know what to tell you about that. I think it might be heading that direction, Capricorn. I think it might be heading towards an ending, because tens, I got 2 tens in reverse here. That's the end of a cycle. Because these are in reverse, you don't want it to end. You're not ready to let it end. But there it is. There it is. It's a burden. It's painful. You're tired. You're exhausted from carrying all this. But it's hard. It's hard to cut and run when you've put so much time and energy into it. And honestly, this is somebody you love who really loves you too. You're going through a really hard time. And maybe this is what that Mars, that 8th house Mars energy was really about. So good luck, Capricorn. Really look at that self-talk. Ask yourself, am I selling myself short here? Are you? What's my next sign? Leo! Leo! How are my kitty cats doing today? Leo, this new moon appears in your 5th house. If you have children, Leo, this 5th house new moon will represent a cycle, a lunar cycle where you are very involved with those children. Okay? You may be involved with them. There may be kind of negotiations with your friend group. Maybe you're friends with other parents that have children, and there's some kind of rebalancing that has to take place amongst that friend group. These days, politics causes a lot of problems. Of course, kids are above all that, not concerned with all that. So your kids might be friends with other kids whose parents have very different beliefs than yours, and you have to try and figure out how to be on the same team, even though your feelings are very different and maybe a little hot in nature about the situation, whichever side you fall on. I'm seeing the obstacle around your 8th house. This can be finances, credit, loans, investments that are taking their sweet time coming in. This can be about you healing, taking responsibility for healing pain within, past hurts, past trauma. This can be very much about taking responsibility for your own emotional healing. The more, and I'm not saying this to make anybody the bad guy, right? Because we all know that shadow work, we have to be willing to see the dark parts of ourselves, okay? We have to be willing to see the darkness within. And it's hard. It sucks because we want to think of ourselves as being right all the time. You know, especially Leo. Oh my God, yeah. I am the pristine queen, right? But we all got skeletons in our closet, Leo, and this is your lunar cycle to work on those. This is your time. This is your time because Saturn is in Pisces, and Saturn demands that we do our inner work. And this for you is inner work that may be around trauma. This is also financial work. This is about getting financially stable and secure, getting debts paid off, or getting an investment house or something like that. Saturn in your 8th. Saturn in your 8th. But there can be an obstacle. There can be some trouble or conflict around those things. And Leo, the opportunity is in your house of you. It's yourself. It's your identity. It's your brand. It's your appearance. What do you do this month? Try on new hairstyles. Think about a new haircut. Think about a new business card. Think about how you would like to eventually rebrand yourself. Give yourself some time before you print your order, right? Because I'm seeing things subject to change as all these retrogrades come up over the next several months. So, take your time, but this is where it's about improving yourself. It's about strengthening yourself, your physical energy, your image, your body, strengthening your body. And Leo, it's lifting some weights, or in as much as you are able, getting yourself outwardly as strong as you inwardly feel, or vice versa, getting yourself as inwardly strong as you outwardly feel. Awesome. Let's draw some cards for you, Leo friends. My kings and queens. Here we go. Jumpers. All right. Yeah. Oh, it's the Queen of Cups just fell out. I need to get your emotions. Be emotionally receptive, open, looking to your past. All right, Leo. Is this your reading? Yes, it is. Here's your message. This message is about a love relationship. Got the lovers. Got the lover card. Okay. Oh, Jesus, Leo. This is the best reading that has come up so far. I'm seeing you having a lot of fun right now, Leo. I'm seeing you having a good time. I'm seeing you in this 3 of Cups energy. All right? Which can be a third party situation. But everything else that I'm seeing around it is looking great. I got the Magician. Okay, so you're manifesting something really important. You have got the power on your side, Leo. Really, this is the best card pull I've seen yet since I sat down to do these readings. I'm seeing, this is amazing. This is amazing, the Magician. This means you are in your power and you can affect change. Yeah? You got magic on your side, my friend. You got magic on your side. So get clear about what you want. Get clear about what you want because you are being called to level up. This is the Judgment card. Judgment is about leveling up. It's about being called to a higher purpose. It's about inevitability. Okay, so there is something inevitable about this love situation that you're currently dealing with. Fabulous. All right. Yeah, either you are manifesting somebody or somebody is manifesting you. All right. Yeah, the Lover's card can also be about an important decision that you're making. Fabulous. We love it. Yeah. But you're probably either choosing somebody or they're choosing you. You're choosing each other. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And this may be somebody that somebody or something. This can be a situation that you've been trying to manifest. You've been trying to make this your reality for a while now. Congrats, Leo. That's a great card pull. Best one yet. Who's going to be next? Gemini. Woohoo! Gemini. Both of you. Gemini, the new moon appears in your house of relationships. So there's some important relationship that comes up during this lunar cycle. Or you may be striking out and meeting some new people during this lunar cycle. There might be a lot of them, but they might not be immediately obvious what the purpose of it is, or which of these people you're meeting is going to be the ones to help you grow, the ones to stick around and be part of your path, and which ones are just visiting, just visiting your realm. We don't know yet. But we do know that there's some kind of a balancing. There's a rebalancing that's going to happen in December between the demands of others in your world and your own self, your own interests, the ways that you want to expand and grow in this world. Okay? The blockage, the obstacle is in career. It's like you have a lot of success, but there's a lot of extra work that you're having to do right now. And maybe that is what is putting strain on these relationships and on yourself. Like, how do I do it all? How do I keep up with the demands of my job as well as the demands of this relationship and meeting new people, and also get what I need from me, your me time. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to get out and explore the world, or just talk and have different conversations than what you're having. There's this real need for you to go beyond yourself, even if it's in a small way. Even if you're just visiting a restaurant that you've never been to before, for example, or going to a park that you've never been to before, or maybe you are traveling beyond the boundaries for the holidays. Maybe you are going international to another country, which is Jupiter is also a planet of international relations. Maybe you're in court. Jupiter can be the courts, but I hope not. I don't know. Maybe you're happy to be there. I hate going to court myself. Yeah, but the inner work happens in career. You may need boundaries in career, or you may need to step up and pay more attention there. You may be kind of checked out as far as your public life is concerned and needing to bring a little more focus there. Right? The opportunity is around the third house, and that's neighbors and messages. Neighbors, messages, language, day-to-day trips, coming and going. The opportunity is in the everyday, all right? So it's in the third house, and the third house is messages. It's your conscious mind. It can also be about the people that you see on a daily basis, like you could say like the person that gets your coffee at Starbucks, or the person that you see on the train to work or the bus to work every day. These people that you interact with. It's about your day-to-day routine. And I'm seeing some energy there. Like the idea I'm getting is like physically walking around your neighborhood or the neighborhood where your workplace is. Just physically getting around and circulating more than you usually do. I don't know, maybe you're a mail carrier and that's all you do. I don't know, but I see you getting stronger through your activities in the everyday. Okay, let's draw some cards for Gemini. Oh yeah, you're Gemini, and then Mars shows up in your third house. So this really is about having conversations. But when Mars goes retrograde on December 6th, not far off, when Mars does go retrograde, I want you to be very careful about gossip. All right? Gemini is known, sorry to say, Geminis. And it's not all of you, and I'm not judging anybody just by your sign. But one of the pitfalls of planets in Gemini, one of the hurtful things that Geminis can do is talk shit. They talk poop about others. gossiping, sharing information that may or may not be true, may or may not be kind. And that can be real hurtful, y'all. All right, is this my message for Gemini? Yeah, all right. Gemini. Gemini, I'm seeing someone not being completely straightforward with you. Okay? They might be treating you like an option. For whatever reason, you're having trouble holding back yourself, even though I think that you kind of feel that something's not right here. I think you kind of know it. So I want you, Gemini, to trust your gut feelings on this. You're having intuitions about this. You're having intuitions about this, and you know inside what the answer is. But for some reason, this is the Strength card, and it's in reverse. You're feeling blocked from taking the steps that you know you should take to protect yourself. All right. You may be either forcing the issue or forcing yourself beyond your comfort zone in a way that you know is not going to work out for you. Okay. So be careful about that. Be careful about that. Okay. Either somebody is seeing you as an option. This is the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Drops in this deck, the 7 of Cups. Somebody seeing you as an option, or you are kind of holding open your options right now. Even though there's something fishy, there's something screwy about what's going on right now. Okay. Like people are not being straightforward. This is the 7 of Swords in the traditional deck. Here it's the 7 of Arrows. Focus on you. Focus on getting your own act together before you move into this new thing, before you move ahead with whatever this is. I'm kind of seeing this as being a warning, Gemini. A warning that you need to be more straightforward with yourself and perhaps with other people too. My friends, who's next? Scorpio. This full moon appears in your 2nd solar house. That's about money. That's about income, finances. It's about the resources that you're working with and balancing those with the investments that you are making. Balancing your physical resources with your emotional resources. You may be really interested in exploring the emotional depths. And in fact, Scorpio, you are an expert at shadow work. And if you feel like you need a bit more, Jupiter in your solar 8th house will assist you in that. You may also be looking at an investment. You may be looking at a major purchase. I'm seeing that coming through in time. Maybe not immediately because of all these retrogrades. There's some kind of delay, most likely, that's going to interrupt the process or prolong it in some way. Because it's hard to make things move forward right now, especially in the realm of, the mundane, the banks and the financial institutions and loans and credit and stuff like that. This is a great time to be repaying loans, paying down debt, paying off your vehicle. Jupiter and Gemini in your 8th house. So awesome. The obstacle is in your 5th house. So it could be about children. This could be about children going through a tough time. A child needing more support from you. Could be about your inner child. This could be about doing inner child work to as part of your shadow work, perhaps. Yeah. And this can be about boundaries with your child. Scorpio, I love y'all. I love y'all very much, but you can have a propensity to get enmeshed with family members, emotionally enmeshed in a way that is unhealthy. All right. So this could be about developing proper boundaries with a child who is moving into adulthood or getting older in some way and needing you a bit less. So I'm either seeing a child needing you more or needing you a bit less. Okay. And that is something that I think deep down, you know which one it is. Yeah. But I'm just seeing, I'm seeing Saturn in Pisces in your 5th, and the word that I can't get out is enmeshment. Because Saturn, Pisces can be a sign that doesn't know where the boundary is. I don't know the boundary between you and me. And I know a lot of parents, mine included, think that they can install their hopes and wishes onto me and not really realize who I really am and that I have hopes and wishes that come from within me, but they don't bother to get to know those. They focus on what they want for me, which is totally different than what I want for myself. So don't get locked into that, because now as I'm older, I'm not that close with my parents. And it's because of that, because they don't even know me, because they've been trying to put their thing on me for so long. So if that is you, Scorpio, you might want to do your shadow work around that. As far as where the opportunities are for you, where the doors are open, I'm seeing career. I'm seeing career going into a pretty good place for you right now. All right. Mars is going to go retrograde. So the gains are going to come slowly. And it may be as a result of this, of the efforts that you're putting in, right? Or it may be that someone else vacates a position. Mars is going to go retrograde. So there's a lot of returning to the past or returning somewhere around that. Yeah. But I'm seeing things going pretty well for you in career. Everything's going to slow down. That didn't change that. Everything's going to slow down. But that's where the goodies are for you in December, Scorpio. Let's draw some cards. All right. Is this a message for Scorpio? Yes. All right. Let's see what we got, Scorpio. This is about a disappointment. This is the 4 of Cups. 4 of Drops. It's about a disappointment. Disappointing situation. An offer that you don't really want to keep. 3 cups spilled, 1 cup remaining. This is about, I think, something that you want to say, but you're not saying it because you're afraid it'll cause a big conflict. And it might. That could be the thing. It'll cause some temporary instability. So you gotta proceed carefully with your expression of your disappointment. I can see that you're thinking about cutting this person out completely. That you're thinking about just let it go and start over. It's too much. It's too much. There's things you want to say, but you're seriously worried about what is going to be the fallout of it. So, I'm going to draw another card here. Yeah, I think that the advice that the cards are giving you is just to hold off for a bit, because the situation, I think, is going to shift a bit before it is complete. Okay? This may have to do with something that's going on at work for you. Okay? So don't let your disappointment get the best of you. I think that things are going to get a little bit better. And I think that it would probably be really therapeutic and helpful for you to at least write down how you're feeling and then keeping it to yourself. You can burn it, maybe write a letter and then burn it. That can be really therapeutic for some people. Just writing things down and keeping them in your journal can help get it out of your head when you're really stewing on something, when you're really stuck somewhere, when you're really like suffering with the way that you feel, just writing it down for you can be really helpful. Yeah. But I'm seeing that give it like a couple, at least a few weeks, if not a couple of months. And then I think you'll have a whole new perspective on things. I don't think it's time yet to take action on this thing. Yeah, whatever has disappointed you. And I'm sorry, whatever it is that has really disappointed you. I'm very sorry. But yeah, what I'm seeing is a caution not to go too fast. All right, this is the page of wands. And it's a freaking jackrabbit, but it came in like this. It came in like this, which to me is saying a caution about moving too fast on this. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't rush a decision or an action based on the disappointment that you are feeling right now. Okay, because I do feel like it is going to shift. Awesome. Thank you, Scorpio. Who's next? I got 3 signs left. Who's going to be next? Who's it going to be? Taurus. Taurus, it's you. It's you. Oh, Taurus, here's your chart. My dear, dear Tauruses, like Scorpio, this is a financial cycle for you. Yeah. But it has more to do with something that you're investing in. It has more to do with the long-term financial picture. Either you're building a retirement or you're thinking about buying a piece of property or some major purchase. Or you're thinking about credit and getting out of debt. And I think part of the way you're going to do this is by increasing your income. Okay? Now, this might be something that comes through in time. It may be just something that you're thinking about right now. Because Jupiter is retrograde, and that's kind of you're expanding on the internal level right now. But expanding for sure. Jupiter is transiting your solar second house, and that's money. That's income. And Jupiter makes things bigger. All right? More resources, more skills. Maybe because you have more skills, you're able to make more money in less time, and therefore you have more time. Time is a precious resource. More time for yourself. Awesome, because I am seeing freedom. I am seeing freedom that's been developing and growing for you for the past 5 or 6 years as Uranus moves through your solar first house, moves through your sign. That's awesome. The obstacle appears in your friend group. All right, your friend, your team. Maybe there's somebody who's not a team player, or maybe somebody is absent. Pisces, they're MIA for a while. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they're dealing with addiction. Who knows? Who knows why they're out is not important. But the fact that they're out and that you are having to kind of pick up the slack is kind of what I'm seeing there. Yeah, and you're having to really work on having compassion for people who drop the ball like that. It's not always easy, but yeah, I'm seeing that your friends too, your friend group, your non-work team might need more check-in from you, more care, more concern, some help. Someone might need you to bring them a hot meal or just come over and listen to their feelings so that they can talk it out with somebody and get their heads straight. You might have a friend who's going through a process of addiction or detox. Saturn and Pisces. You might have friends who are doing a lot of emotional work and just need an ear. Yeah. Where things are happening, where things are moving, that open door happens in your home, your family. Okay, so you may be rearranging the furniture in your home. Maybe you're purchasing a home or moving to a new home. There's this idea of newness around home. But there's also this review because Mars is about to go retrograde, and that's slowing everything down. All right, so whatever's going on in your home, it's just time to slow it down a bit. Slow your roll when it comes to emotions too. You don't have to say everything that you feel. Okay, take some time and let let those feelings mature. Okay? Because the emotions that you're experiencing now might be kind of hot, because there's Mars, that planet of heat and fire, showing up in a fire sign, Leo, in that 4th house, which is the home and the family and the past. So you might really be drawn towards the past, especially to situations that make you feel a little hot, a little bothered, maybe even a little angry. Okay. And this Mars retrograde will give you a chance to get in touch with those feelings and then maybe process them also on the intellectual level, so that intellectually you understand them better. And some of those unconscious feelings can become more conscious, and that's what shadow work is all about. Right, Taurus? Oh, yeah, and I'm seeing that too, because the 8th house is, in addition to being a house of finance, it's also a house of emotion, of that deep psychological work, the shadow work, the recognition of trauma, childhood trauma. A lot of us have childhood trauma. And so really coming to terms, understanding that, and then understanding yourself, okay? We understand trauma not so we can blame our parents or anything like that, but so that we can have an understanding of ourselves. That's really important. Okay, let's get some cards for Taurus. Is this a message for Taurus? Yes. Okay. It's the Emperor, Taurus, but it's in reverse, okay? So there might be something blocking you being in your power right now. What is that? What is that about? Financial? Money troubles? Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is the King of Pentacles, the King of Gems here. He's a bear, but the bear's energy is blocked. The bear's energy isn't fully realized. Maybe the bear needs to make just a little bit more preparations for winter. I hate to tell you this, Taurus, because you are the one. You're the one that's the most practical, but this bear needs to do a bit more. Needs to save the pennies. Maybe you've been spending a lot of money now and you need to kind of pull back on that impulse a little bit and hold on to your resources right now. And, and be like that bear. Be like that bear. If you are in a period of hibernation, then, then you might need to make some effort to bring yourself back to a more empowered state where you feel more in control. Because right now I'm sensing that you feel out of control of your finances from these cards. Ultimately, here's the Lover's card. I'm seeing like somebody else in your life stepping up perhaps to help, to fill in the shortfall, or to give you some good advice, to join with you. Maybe this is an actual love relationship. Although you know as well as I do that we can't rely on, especially as women, we can't rely on a love relationship to solve our financial problems. But I'm getting that what you need is a plan. Because the way that you feel right now is kind of tied down. Not really able to move. But this came up in the reverse too. So I think you're going to get to a place where you have a better perspective on your situation. And you have a plan to get financially where you want to be. To meet your goals. And to get to where this bear is upright and ready to hibernate and sleeping like a baby because he knows it's all taken care of. Yeah. And you know he's back on the throne and back in control. The Emperor. Awesome. Good luck. Good luck, Taurus. Who's it going to be? Cancer. It's you. It's you, baby. Cancer, I'm looking at you and I'm seeing the new moon in your house of health, giving you a chance to get your acts together, to create routines that support your health and that support your efficiency at your job, whatever it is that you are doing right now. This is a time to review and check in with yourself. Where are you? Check in with your employees if you're a boss. Check in with your work routines if you are a worker bee. And everybody in between, check in with your health routines. That's really, really important. Okay. Your diet may need some tweaking, Cancer. You may need more protein. Yeah. Sag is a fire sign, and fire signs are about protein. Yeah. If you've had brain fog or anxiety or depression, any of that, this is a time to look at, okay, what part of my routine can I change up? Maybe I can eat different foods. Maybe I can cut out something that I know, have a hunch is not good for me, right? Because you're Cancer and you're intuitive and you know things. You do. The 6th house, where this new moon appears, is opposite the 12th. And very, very connected with the 12th. So this is also about your mental diet. This is also about the things that you think and hear and read and consume and believe, and how that affects you on the physical level too. Okay, that's strong connection between the 6th house and the 12th house here. The mind-body connection. Okay, both of those are in play right now. Clean up your act. Both places. All right, Cancer. Your mental diet and your physical diet may need some tweaks. Yeah. As far as the obstacles and the blockages, that is appearing in your 9th house. Beliefs, legal situations. Maybe you have a legal situation that is causing you some consternation and taking up a lot of your time. You can also look at beliefs about yourself that you might hold. Negative, limiting beliefs about yourself, what you deserve, what you're capable of. It's time to work through any deceptions or delusions about your own self and your own life and your own your spirituality even. Saturn in Pisces. And work on, Saturn is work on creating more compassionate beliefs about yourself, okay? You got to have compassion for yourself, okay? Or else those judgments that you make of yourself can negatively impact your health and cause you pain. They really can, particularly in the Gemini area, which is your shoulders, arms, hands, and lungs. And the Sagittarius part, which is your lower back, sacrum, and hips. Okay, so Cancer, I really want you to be kinder and gentler with yourself. Where things are going well for you, Cancer, is your 2nd house, your money. Okay, it's all flowing pretty well. You might take some time to review your financials during this Mars and Mercury retrograde period that's coming up. And give yourself a pat on the back for the things that you have accomplished and the ways in which you have won at life and excelled and done great. You're a winner, Cancer. You're a winner. Let's pull some cards. And see where Cancer's at. Is this the message? Is this the right message for Cancer? All right, let's do it. Oh, Cancer. Oh, you haven't been really receptive to emotions these days. You've been maybe emotionally exhausted. You haven't been truly in yourself for a while. You are thinking of making a move from agitated waters to calmer waters. Okay, you have been thinking about moving on from something, moving on, water under the bridge. You're thinking about letting go of something, but you're not quite there at this point. Okay, but you have a decision to make. And I think that by the end of Mars retrograde in February, you will have that decision made. Maybe even sooner than that. Okay. But the way forward is not totally clear yet. There are secrets. There are things going on behind the scenes that are obscuring the picture. So it's like you don't have a real strong idea of what the future holds. And you're not really used to moving forward without knowing that. Yeah, and I do want you to be careful right now, Cancer, because there is some danger ahead that the cards are showing me in terms of the moon. This is the moon card and it's reversed. All right, it's not like it looks a whole lot different, but but it's the moon obscures the way forward. And so your advice from this tarot reading, well, the advice from the tarot, I believe, is to get a little bit more comfortable with not knowing. Things will be revealed in time, but for now, maybe you have to be a little bit more comfortable with the unknown. Maybe even diving into the depths of your own unconscious to see, to get a better take on what's bothering you, to get more certainty about what it is that's really bothering you. Oh, bless you. Bless you, Cancers. You'll know I love you so much. Okay, finally, Libra. Libra, the caboose. Our final reading. Libra, this new moon appears in your 3rd house. This is about messages, communication. It's about your day-to-day. It's about your neighborhood and how your beliefs impact on your day-to-day. How your beliefs impact on how you process, learn, and work with information. Maybe you have limiting beliefs about yourself. Maybe that came from a relationship in your past. Who knows? But this is about reconciling or coming to terms with new data, new information that conflicts with what you believe to be true, perhaps. Maybe this is about a person that you're in relationship with, or maybe this is about a situation in your life. Maybe it's about like your work life or politics or something like that. But we are seeing a potential for a disconnect, a potential for beliefs and knowledge to end up on, or beliefs and facts to end up on opposite sides of the seesaw, and you trying to kind of balance it all out and figure out where you stand in relation to all this stuff. All right. The obstacle is in your 6th house. That is your health and your job, your routines. If you have employees, this is about your employees. And, you know, there can be some kind of temporary obstacle. There could be employees out sick. Or Pisces is often a sign that has to do with illness and absence. So, and that's where I'm seeing the challenges. That's where I'm seeing the blockages. It could be a health issue of yours. It could be something that you're struggling with or working with, or just working with a, lowered energy. This could be you needing to get more minerals in your diet, especially if you're feeling foggy, brain fog, or confusion, or not really feeling like yourself. This can be about that. Or having issues with your feet. Pisces rules the feet. Sleep, dreams, trouble sleeping. The opportunity where things are moving for you, where things are moving forward more easily, is around friendships and teams. This can be a friend group that you're in that gets really fun. Maybe it's a source of relief from all the stress that you've been feeling and experiencing. It lets you get out of your head. You know, I don't know. I have a group of friends that I do karaoke with a couple of times a month. And I mean, it's so good at helping me get out of my head. I feel excited and jazzed up and like have some fun. And that's all really great. So Libra, it may be that you need some kind of something in your life where you can gather with some people who are interested in the same things you are and just let loose a little bit. Just go have some fun. I'm also seeing that I think that you can rely on your team. You can rely on your friend group and your friendships to give you a little bit more of extra support, especially if like primary love relationships are not going well for you. That's not something I necessarily see, but I do see for everybody, because the North Node has been in Aries for a while. This has been about getting in touch with ourselves, you know, and it's also been about Libra, letting go of all the things. Yeah, with the South Node in Libra, letting go of bad relationships, right? So you may just need that extra touch in with those friends and those friendships. And I am seeing that being something that is easy for you right now, something that goes well for you right now with less effort. So, Libra, let's draw you some cards. Last but not least, we're going to draw you some cards. We're going to get a message. Awesome. This message for Libra? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, Libra, the Tower. Something is changing for you. What is that about? Not really seeing it in charts, but in the cards, we got a Tower. We got a Tower. Okay. Before you freak out, if you know what the Tower is, it's like one of the dreaded cards in the tarot. But, I mean, I started getting the Tower a while, and it's been the best thing ever. It's liberating. Let me tell you, if you're into tarot, let me tell you about the Tower. The Tower comes after the Devil. The Devil is about being trapped in a situation that you may not even be aware that you're trapped in, and it is making you miserable. Miserable. And then here comes the Tower, and you realize, I don't have to stay. I can go. I can make a different choice for myself. Sometimes when the Tower comes, that choice is made for you. But either way, this is about liberation. This is about something that you've walked away from, and it took you a while to decide to walk away from it. And then, gosh, you've got 2 earth sign cards here. One of them is a Virgo, and one of them is a Capricorn. They're court cards. One of them is the Knight. This is the Knight of Gems, which is Pentacles in the regular deck. Isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen? The Knight of Gems. But he came in reversed. That reverse Knight of Gems might be, you're being too cautious. You know, it is time. It is time to walk away from something. It's time to walk away. This came in reverse. That means you're resisting whatever it is that you need to walk away from, Libra. And the advice I've got for you is the Queen of Pentacles. Oh man, you step into your own as the queen that you are. You step into your own as a rich queen. This is about finances. This is about being financially secure because you are open and receptive. Okay. So in a way, it's like you're maturing. You're maturing from a knight into a queen. All right. Knights are impulsive. They're too much of whatever they are. The Knight of Gems is too cautious. Hoarding. Maybe you need to let go a little bit so that you can be more materially comfortable. All right. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Maybe you need to let go a little bit. Maybe you need to let this Tower happen. Maybe you need to embrace the change. Embrace the new reality that has shown itself to you. Because that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing, Libra. All right, you guys. This has been super fun, and I hope that you've gotten something out of it too. Let me know how these readings resonate or not. You know, it's not to hurt my feelings if I pulled cards that you just don't relate to. Or whatever, okay? But reach out and say hello if you want to see me do this again in particular. Because like I said, but at the beginning of this, I'm throwing the spaghetti, and if it doesn't stick, I'm not going to continue to throw it. Because this took me a couple of hours, and I'm not here to make myself happy. I'm here to make y'all happy. So let me know how I did. Thanks for hanging around. I really super appreciate it, y'all. Hope you have a great month in this Sagittarius lunar cycle. And maybe I'll see you again before too long to do a reading of the upcoming full moon on December 15th in Gemini. Let me know what you think of that, because I'd be happy to do it, but only if there's people out there that really want to hear it.